me. If it had to happen to someone, I'm glad it happened to me because I'm strong and I can handle it, and somebody else would have killed himself by now. So I became my own mother. Stop it. Like, I became my own mum. And I'm not crying because I'm sad. I'm crying because I know that a lot of you, the reason why you feel this is because you've gone through it as well. That's why I'm a healer. Because people relate to me, right? And I don't lie. That's one thing. I don't lie. Love you too, baby Jane. And I mean, even today, I told you in the shop, yeah, I have a toxic family. I'm sad. I feel everything. And today I'm feeling everything. Is it a full moon? That's why I went in the coffee shop. Oh, and Gaia wants to come up. Okay, Gaia, hold on. Okay. Come here. Oh, come here, baby. All right. But listen, you need to sit down as well. Sit down, Gaia. No, you can't sit behind me. She just wants to be as close as possible to me, this one. All right, I love you too. I love you too, Guy, but my bum's way too big. Everyone's on their own journey, and similar energies end up meeting for a reason. You know, those who have suffered the most, there's a reason. Yeah, she's gorgeous. I have my boy as well, but he's like, he wants to play with the ball more than any guy. There's no space for both of us. Okay, come to the front. Okay, do this, like this. Okay, and you are free to jump on this side whenever you want. I have a toxic family, but love them so much still. Listen, Ed, you love them because get a cat. I had a cat, but my two babies I've had a cat before, but these two are really something, honestly. When I come down in the morning, this one literally is like jumping up at the door. But listen, I think those of us who have suffered a lot, I think the suffering, we are living in a time right now where we're breaking that karma. It's not even karma. We are healing ancestral trauma. Sometimes it's best to love your family from a distance. Absolutely. I don't love my family. Okay, if I'm honest, like I saw my mom on Cyrus TikTok and she looks old and she looks weak. And she looks like she's been manipulated. And I know she has, because she's told me stuff. But equally, my mum wasn't a nice person. And as a healer, one of the things that I tell people when we do the work, they're like, oh no, my mum, I did have an issue with her, but not anymore. I'm like part of my work to help people heal. Those who are from toxic families and still care, want to be around the families due to trauma bond. It's not a trauma bond, but the mistake, okay, there's two things going on here. The trauma that is caused by your family, you end up going into relationships that remind you of the trauma. It's subconscious, right? Because you have built up protection, you know how to deal with it, right? Hey, custom drivers, I'm good. We're having a really serious discussion. Look at this one. Oi! Yeah, Ed. So as a healer, where do you draw the line between free will versus how they were raised? No more. Okay, let me just break this down. So the first thing is when you come from a family where you've experienced trauma, you accept trauma from everywhere else. You find that your friends and your lovers and people around you tend to be inflicting trauma on you. And the reason why you do that, people say, why do I keep doing this? Here we go. The reason why I keep doing this is because you built up coping mechanisms. So I'm going to walk into this situation because I know the trauma. Okay, this is the trauma from my parents. I'm going to get a relationship. It's the same trauma. Why am I walking into the same trauma? Because I know how to deal with it. Because I've had to deal with it all my life. So it's like, welcome home. That's why people who come from trauma walk into traumatic situations. So that's the first thing, right? But there's two types of people. There's the ones who, I mean, to be fair, to date, I've not met anyone who's come from trauma as a healer who then conflicts trauma on others. I've never actually seen that, because they tend to be, what happens when you come from trauma and you're seeking validation because you haven't had that, right? Guys, please don't forget to tap like and share an FYP. You've done a great job so far. So the thing with coming from trauma is that you're looking for validation. So what tends to happen, someone gives you a little bit, this is what I was doing. Someone's this much kind to me, and then I'm that much kind to them. I remember it forever. Yes, people jump out of the pain into the fire as they know no different. Correct. And my work as a healer is taking people out of fear. Because I've done it time and time again. That's why I'm a really good healer. I've done it, and that's why the universe picked me. It's like, you need to do this, Sophia, so that you can help other people and save people's lives. And I was like, yeah, I'll sign up to that. So people jump out of pain into the fire. Yeah. We jump into other relationships that are going to hurt us. So, but deep down, thank you, Sophia, you're so smart. I hope you get everything you deserve. And you all. Listen, but deep down, when you are come from trauma and you're picking situations with trauma, see, this is the other thing. I'm a healer, and I'm not going to sit here and say, I never cry, I've got my crap sorted. I have. But equally, I can cry for my trauma and other people's trauma. I heal people's trauma. I've had to hold someone's hand because they were so messed up. I channeled all of that energy and I cried in the middle of a party in a penthouse with famous people in, because I spotted this person. I'm like, you're not releasing your trauma. Sometimes our parents are hiding their own traumas and abuses, which as kids we never know. That is a fact. I'm neurodiverse, a psychiatrist as well as a counsellor, and feel others' pain and give what I have. So, listen, we have discussed, right, if you come from trauma, that you walk into it again. Now I'm going to ask you a question. How many of you, now I know that most of you, I did get what you said, not arrested, but touched. I know that most of you on here have said that you walk into trauma because you've come from trauma. You will work into relationships that are giving you issues. Correct, Anna. Now, I'm going to ask you this one question, and as a psychiatrist, you can ask your clients this as well. You probably have. My learning comes from above, my psychic sense, my connection with the other side. Guys, don't forget to FYP and like. Every single one of you who have been in trauma are in the trauma, but know that it shouldn't be happening, firstly. Right? Paramedic told me I've ruined mine and my children's lives because, whoa, our world? Somebody said that to you? Why and when? And why didn't you report them? Sorry, for someone to say that, the first thing, what did they say? You have anxiety and autism. Okay. Clearly, Anna. I'm thinking that he himself, whoever it was, had the same issue. Now, autism is people whose soul is advanced. It is not a disorder. It is somebody, same with ADHD, someone whose soul is advanced, okay? And then when you get told Yeah, we have superpower. 100%. I, as a healer, I never met, excuse me, my back. I never really met anyone, it's my muscles, never met anyone I didn't think I've ever met anybody with ADHD and other, what they call autism, whatever. But when I've had clients who have had it, I'm like, no, there's nothing wrong with you. You're advanced. And the problem is that people get prescribed stuff, right? They get told they have a disorder. Immediately you're thinking there's something wrong with me, which makes the whole thing worse because you're psychologically being told this. You sense things differently. Yes, it's a sixth sense. Everyone is being fitted into a box. Absolutely. Now, you've seen my TikTok, how everybody's trying to say, are you Muslim, are you Hindu? Because they're confused with me. Because I don't fit in a box. Right? I don't like boxes because your potential is far greater than that. And when you are put in a box as a human being, the way you respond is what? This is what I am. You're Indian, you're Pakistani, you're the government downplaying neurodiverse, most multimillionaires are neurodiverse. I don't even know Elon Musk. I don't really like that guy, to be fair. But besides that, humans love to us and them. It's not humans, babe. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. Because when people are boxed, what happens? You're separating everybody from what? Coming together. Right? People are conditioned. And the idea of your life is to what? Break through the conditioning. Who am I really? My mother, father shouldn't tell me who I am. I mean, I don't have children, but I see all of the people that I heal as my children. In fact, during a healing, I'm often said, child, this, and this. Like I'll call them child, like a priest does. But government want to... Yeah, right. I think what we have to do firstly is not think about what anybody else wants for us, right? Divided people seek to divide people. Yes and no. I actually think there's a few people up here who are saying, let's divide that lot. So they're actually not divided, but they want to divide this lot. So they might own a country, for example, right? And by doing that, they stay here. It's about siphoning energy. Your energy has been siphoned. But first of all, I would say don't listen to the stuff that some people put on, well, when they're conspiracy theorists. I was a big conspiracy theorist. And I think you've got to think, how is this making me feel? Anyone who thinks out of the box and do their own thing, people shun. Yes and no. Yes and no. So because of my healing, my ability, I became a spiritual nun. Thank you, our world. Guys, tapping like an FYP the crap out of this today. Listen, I could tell you stuff about aliens that I know and angels, and I tell people about my past lives that I'm related to Buddha. I said it on the news in India, and some people were like, she's nuts. But I didn't care. I was so heavy into my spirituality. I was on another, not planet, dimension, operating in this dimension and the higher dimensions. And I just didn't care because it was so true to me. I'm like, this is happening. I can see it. I cannot deny it. If an angel comes into my house and I see it, I cannot deny it. If I see Shiva, I cannot deny it. How can I see Shiva? I'm born a Muslim and then a Catholic. How can I see Shiva? How can I think that I'm related to someone, Buddha? I know what happened. I know what happened when I walked into the temple of Bodh Gaya on accident and started crying and remembered it as my home. I was here. Why would I do that? An attractive, well-known Bollywood actress suddenly seemingly looked like she's gone nuts. right? Because I was feeling other things, because I was seeing stuff that human beings don't see, you know? And then somebody had the nerve, actually, this guy said to me, I think it was 2 weeks ago, how do you know you're not delusional? I said, delusional? There's been too many miracles. I said, when someone comes to me and from their name and date of birth, I can tell everything about them. And then someone comes to me and they're infertile, and I do something to them and they tell me their ovaries are bubbling and the doctor confirms they have eggs now. When someone came to me and they didn't even tell me they were sick, and the angels tell me this person is going to die in 1 hour, and I freak out, and the angels are like, you need to do this, this, and this. Stand here, do this. I was doing this. I blew into her mouth. I said, I don't know what it is. I've cleared something from your heart. And said, Sophia, you didn't know, but I had a pulmonary embolism, and I went to the doctors, and it's not there anymore. So when all these things, that's just a few examples, guys. What do? Do I say, no, it's not true because somebody thinks I'm delusional? Why do billionaires pay me for healing? You know, I'm telling you, I mean, these are big stories, guys, big stories. I can't, half of my clients, I mean, I work with Forbes billionaires. I work with really famous people whose names, I'm not just talking EastEnders famous, I'm talking Hollywood famous. But you are never going to see me healing clients on TikTok because it's not allowed. I would never do that. There's one video of that one guy who came into my clinic that you may have seen. So when you say people don't believe it, I don't give a crap. I don't care. It's like you have to live your truth. And when you live your truth and speak your truth, which is the hardest thing, you're here to know yourselves. Guys, you are on this planet to know who you are. Don't ask anyone else. My mom, listen, I had this since a kid. You cannot sing. It's against Islam. You cannot do that. God didn't want you to be a singer. And I said, well, why am I singing then? Why do I want to do it? If God didn't want it, why did he give this to me? Like, this is how I would talk to my mom. I'm like, you're telling me that something that I love passionately, God doesn't like it? Then why did he put that in me in the first bloody place? This was the conversation I was having with my mother when I was a child. And now look at me, 40 years on, right? You created a new path nobody else has trodden. People are scared of anything new. Maybe it's not even new. All I'm doing is telling you to look within yourself. In fact, it's not new. It's so old. It's pre-religion. This I'm talking about. I was also an ancient Egyptian high priestess in my past life. Go back, guys. Take off the layers of everything that your ancestors put on you and their ancestors put on you. Why are you the religion you are today? This isn't for every religion, by the way. Most of these religions have come about by what? Divide and conquer. People say to me, where are you from? I say I'm Bactrian. What does that even mean? You know how I found out I'm Bactrian? Through some guy on a dating app. Worlds didn't have countries. Lord Gaia. To put importance on yourself. And family. Okay. Would love to watch the Bollywood movies you've worked in. I think there's some online. But anyway, when you go back, there is a theory, which I believe, because of my meditations, that human genetics were messed with. So we lived thousands and thousands of years. We didn't just live till 80. We lived 90, whatever. We lived thousands of years. We had less health problems. Why would you be able to live thousands of years? Because you didn't have the health problems. Where did the health problems come from? There's been genetic interference. Where does genetic interference come from? Our genetics have been interfered with. Guess what? Everything you eat does what? Everything you eat is creating the cells in your body, correct? Yeah. So what happens if you eat a tomato that has been genetically modified for hundreds of years? You are what you eat. Yeah, Anna, but not just injections and processed food and chemicals. There's genetic mutation, genetically modified food, GMO. That's been around a long time. And only when somebody discovered we have GMOs, what happens? Then people are saying non-GMO food, then you get all these people, then they have to label it. The fish that you eat is farmed. Unless you eat wild fish, which isn't the easiest option, but we can find it. So we were not born to get sick. We were not born to get sick. Cancer is a genetic code that came, and I know where it's come from. Because where do I know where it's come from? So a guy, this is interesting, a guy came to give me a quote for tiling in the house. And I said to him, is your mum unwell? He said, yes. I said, does she have cancer? He said, yes. And I said, okay, she keeps getting it, doesn't he? And she said, yes. And I said, what does your mum eat? And he said, she eats healthy. I said, does your mum eat pork? And he said, yes. And I said, that's what's giving her cancer. I've done deep meditations, my work with ayahuasca. There are cancer codes in pork. So that's number one. Number two, okay, how do you explain a Muslim getting cancer? Stress. Stress, energy. And so how did her stress come along? I'm talking about my cousin, for example. I don't think we can say graveyard for animals and bad food because I don't think animals are the problem. And I know that because I've been vegan. So I don't think that's the problem. I think the problem is the manipulation genetically, the pesticides. But listen, all of that, right? Beside all of that, let me just say something to you. You can bless your food. Yes, stress. Listen, you can bless your food. Tap water I haven't touched for a long time. Bless your food. You have power inside yourself, right? Every time when I always put my hand on top of my food, you've seen me do it here. I had cancer 2 years ago and it was all years of stress, depression. Exactly, Anna. So when I heal people from cancer, basically what do? We work where the anger is. So a cancer cell is a cell that does not communicate with the rest of the body. So your body is an environment. So the cancer cell does not communicate with the rest of the body. So then I have to look for where is the lack of communication in your life with somebody in your life. So yours was the pelvic area, Anna. That would be related to birth. That would be related to birth, a disconnection from maybe your birth parents. And maybe even abuse. Am I allowed to say the word, abuse? You know what I mean, that abuse. So, that is why you get cancer in this area. Also, overeating. I do intermittent fasting, which allows body time to fight. Yes. Who said they had cancer here? Sorry, I'm getting a little bit lost. And when you read everybody's comments, so when you have cancer here, it was Anna, you said it, did you? Yeah. So Anna, can I ask you directly if you had any issues with abuse? Hey, Life King. Anna, can I ask you if you've had any issues with abuse or any issues with your parents, like connection? Thank you, Boutique. Yeah, we're doing good. We're doing good. Thanks to you all. Thank you to all of you at the beginning who were FYPing and sending little gifts. So, Anna, can I ask you that question? Is that okay? Did you have, thank you, yeah, Safina is my FYP baby. And also baby Jane. Your mother-in-law, breast cancer, aluminium. Breast cancer, aluminium. I've not used a normal deodorant for years. I use natural deodorants, and they're generally made from bicarbonate of soda, coconut oil, and I can't remember what the other thing is. But you want the ones with bicarbonate of soda and coconut oil. They're the best. I'll see if they've got any on here. I had a lot from my ex and family. Okay, there we go. So that's manifesting here. The Cancer is manifesting there. So you're absolutely right, Anna. You get rid of the toxic people and everything works itself in its body, works yourself out in your body, right? So sugar, yes. Sugar in moderation isn't a problem, guys. We can't, I mean, listen, they said carbohydrates were the enemy, but since I started eating potatoes and bread every day, my health has never been better. The ancients used to eat wheat. Hence, I knew after being told that I changed my priorities and cut people out and more boundaries. 100%. 100%. Listen, if I look at pictures of me when I was younger compared to what I look like now, I look much better. When I was in a toxic relationship, I wanted to literally unalive myself. And I tried. And, you know, yeah. Lena's saying diabetes, yeah. Everything is about your own happiness, and some of the religious texts always say to you that you should put your parents first, you should give not to receive. Well, those rules are wrong. They're wrong. Giving not to receive. We must always, like I gave to that woman in the shop today when I kind of did a reading on her, and I'm going to send her something so she can help get pregnant. I'm not expecting anything back from her. She's not got much money. I can tell she's probably an immigrant. And so I want to help her out. And, but I have other people who want to come for healing. So I had, but I'm not going to help them for whatever reason. There are people I have clients who pay me money, $3.50 an hour, and then I'll say, I can't see you because you haven't done this, this, and this. And I can feel that it's just energy sucking. Even though they pay me, they're still energy sucking. Because let me tell you, even though money is an energy exchange, if that person is coming in front of you to suck energy, that's very different. I'm giving my energy to help you heal. Now, if you're not going to heal, I know I can sense that that's not good for me in some sense. If there's somebody who is just draining energy from you because they're sticking a plug into you, you're more important than your image. John, I don't know what you're talking about. We're not talking about image right now. I think that's misread. Yeah. So when it comes to any illness, when it comes to healing, I think the most important thing, this boils down to for each and every one of you, is to live your truth, to speak your truth, to be your truth, to know yourself, to love yourself, to put importance on yourself. And I'm not talking about just going to get rid of John because he doesn't belong here. Yeah. So and again, people like John who come on here saying your image, whatever he said, there is nothing wrong in wanting to look nice as well, by the way. Right? If I want to put a filter on here, I really like this filter. Like previous guy. What previous guy is doing what? Huh? I don't understand. The previous guy did this. Anna, you have to explain yourself. Anna, can you speak Hindi? हिंदी में लिखो क्योंकि टिकटॉक को अंग्रेजी समझ आती है, उसको हिंदी नहीं समझ आती है. क्योंकि मैंने कोई लोगों को I meant if Parvi guy did that, he would mean let's go baby. Oh, yes, of course. In dating. He looks at you in a club. In a dating, and you go to a nightclub and an Indian man looks at you and he does this. You should run very fast. Unless he's very cute. If he's very cute, you run towards him. No, you run towards him. You do this too. And you get two people like this. And that is, what do we call this? What do we call it? It is called permission. What do you call it when two people agree? It is called what? When they agree to you know what? Consent. Indian consent is what? Indian consent is one man, this, or the girl can start. Of course, you can start. It is a new time now. The girl does this. Oh, Razamandi. Ah. The girl does this, the boy does this. That is it. Consent. But when she does that, it's no. Oh, that made me dizzy. Oh, that makes me dizzy. Do not shake your head so fast. Hi, Anushvi. We're going into Bollywood mode. We're doing Bollywood head shaking. What else do they do in Bollywood? What else do they do in India? The wobble of consent. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Hand gesture. Yeah. The Italians are this, right? Because my ex-husband was Italian. You thought you came in... Oh, my friend is calling me. I'm dumping my friends. Not taking a dump, I'm dumping my friends. Dumping. I like the way it sounds. Dump. Better than like dump. Dump. I like the way that sounds. Dump, 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 dump. It sounds better than jump. Right? Oh gosh, I'm making myself laugh. Say the word. All right, all of you say it now. Say the word dump. I'm taking a dump. Now say it with an Indian accent. I'm taking a dump. Dump. It just hits slower, doesn't it? Oh my God, you all are going to go to bed saying the word dump in an Indian accent. Oh, so yeah, my friend, where were we at? Oh, let's finish the taxman story. So,